Let me offer you a different perspective if you're a new manager. You ever watch the movie Matrix where Morpheus says to Neo, blue pill, red pill? And Neo goes in and tries to get the pill. You remember what Morpheus says? All I'm doing is offering the truth. And this is all I'm doing to you as a new manager. All I'm trying to do is offer you the truth. So here's what I mean. You're getting a lot of information from either your peers, colleagues, or people here. They're going to tell you meet with your employee or meet with your employees one-on-one, meet with your peers one-on-one, meet with your boss one-on-ones in the first 30 days, which I think is completely wrong. So I want you to think about this. You're going to meet with your employees and your boss about what specifically? If you haven't really assessed the work and really determined what the barriers are within your team, what are you meeting about? You as a new manager, you have to do your due diligence before you do any of those things. I'm not saying they're not important. Yes, it's important to meet with your employees one-on-one. Yes, it's important to meet with your colleagues one-on-one. Yes, it's important to meet with your boss one-on-one, but not yet. These are the first three things you have to do before you do any of those things. And the one thing I do agree on is you have to listen, but not in the way that they're telling you. Let me explain. So the first thing you have to do is you have to determine what the work activities are, meaning what are the job lists that you're ultimately responsible for. That's the first thing you do. You do the list based on frequency and reasonable expectation. The reasonable expectation is going to be the key that you have to focus on, but you build the list. You ask employees, ask your manager, what's the job list that I'm responsible for? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be responsible for the work that's being performed. The second thing is pull the data. Understand what KPIs are being tracked and what's the trend. Productivity, efficiency, and cost per unit are the basic ones. Start with those. And the third thing is that when you ask employees about what are your biggest issues, which I know you'll do, guess what? They're not going to tell you the entire truth. They're not going to self-incriminate themselves about what's the biggest issues. So what you have to do is create a lost time log and put it out there so they can start tracking their barriers and say, hey team, I don't know, I want to listen, but I'm going to use a tracking tool to track all the barriers that you're encountering for the next couple of weeks because I want to understand the data. There's no data, but I need your help. So you do that for the first couple of weeks, track that data. So you have three things you're focusing on: activity lists with reasonable expectations, the KPIs, and the lost time. If you do those three things, then you're set up to have the one-on-ones and the meetings with everybody. So what do you think?